Hello, and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen and the Lady Doth Protest Too Much, featuring Hilary Clinton, and trying out a new microphone that came with my phone.
Ukraine is fighting for our democracy and our values of freedom and civilization on the front lines, losing thousands of people and having their country destroyed by one man's mania to control them. And I think Trump either doesn't understand or could care less about that suffering. So that's what I think.
And so do you think he has destroyed the West, to go to our title?
He has betrayed the West. He's betrayed human values. He's betrayed the NATO Charter, the Atlantic Charter, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. A lot of what has been done before to try to make sense of how difficult it is to restrain people who want unaccountable power. And none of us in this room, including all of us on this panel, would choose to live under a regime that was so unaccountable that it could act with impunity the way that Putin does, except that's who Trump is modeling himself
I don't
after.
think we would be having this debate under that kind of regime, for sure. We will come back, I suspect, to the conservatism and liberalism clash within the West, but thank you for that. Peter, do you agree that the Trump administration's actions on Ukraine have produced a rift in the West?
Well, first, I think you really don't like him.
You know, that is absolutely true. But I really, not only do I not like him, I don't like him because of what he's doing to the United States and the world. And I think you should take a hard look at it if you think that there is something good that will come out of it.
Peter.
She sounds a bit stressed out. I wonder if it's all to do with Donald Trump, and perhaps some might have to do with her husband's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and the Clinton Foundation having A1 military clearance.
I've started to kind of move down the road post-COVID into believing, obviously, that these monster corporations, be it BlackRock, all of these, like this handful of corporations that own everything, all the drug companies, all the food companies, and it's like State Street, BlackRock, and there's one other, I can't remember which one, and they own the controlling shares of every single friggin' company in the world. And what's even crazier is that when you look at who owns it's Vanguard. Okay.
Vanguard, yeah.
So when
which owns BlackRock, which
owns State Street, which owns
Yeah.
Vanguard. They own
Yes.
each other. So all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, hold on. Who owns the controlling share of Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. Who owns State Street? Oh, Vanguard and BlackRock. Who owns Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock? And it's all just one company, basically, that owns the controlling shares of everything. So you start to look into this post-COVID, and you're thinking, all right, this is insane, this is bananas. But what you're told when all of this craziness unfolds, the pillaging and plundering of the developing world, the things like disaster profiteering, everything in my line of work when it comes to health and wellness, looking at the ways in which hundreds of billions of dollars flow in subsidies to processed foods and garbage, all of the stuff with healthcare that gets buried, all of this stuff, you're told, well, no one's evil. It's not like one person doing this, guys. It's just the way business works. You see, what happens is these companies have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders, so it kind of begets itself. Like where there's an opportunity to make money, these kind of crazy things are just what happens, but nobody is deliberately pulling the string. There's no puppet master. All of a sudden, you go into these Epstein emails, and they are literally a handful of people talking to each other about how to control the world. And it's everyone. It's everything from the Clinton Foundation, the Gates Foundation, Enzo Capital, which is Larry Fink's kid, Josh Fink. So his connection to Larry Fink is through Josh Fink. Every single billionaire, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, Lex Wexner, Elon Musk, politicians all over the world, royalty, bankers.
That was interesting. Now, fast forward.
a host of podcasters and independent journalists, Tucker, propose that the war in Ukraine was orchestrated on purpose, arguably, in order to grab all of Ukraine's resources. So they've got the breadbasket, which has historically fed all of Europe. It's the most valuable farmland, I guess, outside of Iowa in the world. Yeah. They've got minerals, all kinds of stuff. And the guy that has the contract to go in and rebuild it is Larry Fink, right? And it's all under the pretense of such a good guy. We're going to go in, we're going to rebuild, it's going to be amazing. But you're going, wait a second, hold on. And it turns out that they're now in a war and we give them all these weapons. And then it's like, oh, but you owe that money back. And the World Bank is going to force you to give over your mineral rights and the land rights to the farmland. And you're thinking, this feels on purpose. Cut to the friggin' Epstein files, where all the way back in 2014, and I want to ask you about this family because I know you've spoken about them before. There are email exchanges between Epstein and Ariane de Rothschild, representative of Edmund de Rothschild Group, big banking family. And Epstein reportedly described the situation in Ukraine as offering significant financial potential, with some reports and headlines described this context as the coup in 2014 that they wanted to help facilitate, where they got a democratically elected leader kicked out of there. So this is all under the context of the Maiden events. And then they've got him talking to an unidentified woman saying that corruption in Ukraine is sophisticated, huge, quote, money will be made, and he wants her to become a, quote, female oligarch. He's trying to get a meeting with Putin at the time, but it got complicated because I guess they shot down a plane over Ukraine, the MH17. Then you have him again in 2019. You have Epstein again in 2019 talking to this guy, Miroslav Lajak, who was president of the UN General Assembly at the time, saying that he needs to intercede in the election there between Petro Poroshenko and Vladimir Zelensky. Intercede to do what? To make sure you've got a war that you can pillage and plunder. And the best part is that the whole time he's communicating about this to Larry Summers, who's the former U.S. Treasury Secretary under Bill Clinton, the former head of the National Economic Council under Barack Obama, the former president of Harvard University, and the longtime advisor to Wall Street, central banks, and global institutions. So long story short, all we know is this guy has been involved since 2014 in destabilizing Ukraine so they can all make money. And here you're being told that you're nuts for years, that you're insane, you're crazy, it's all conspiracy, and it's all because, and I do think Putin is a horrible monster, but it's all just because Putin is a horrible monster.
So up until today, I've been using a microphone on a stand, not that fancy, and I keep moving my head away from it. So yeah, let's see how this goes with having it attached to my head. And seeing I've got a little bit of time.
Let's watch. This is the brand new interview. Hillary Clinton.
We have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not.
So what are you talking? She was at the wedding of your only daughter. She did meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, and she met with Ghislaine Maxwell after the sex predator conviction.
It's not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated to their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public because let's make this transparent.
Right. Now let's see how my audio went. Off to edit. See you later. Bye.